notepad.com. Okay. Hello everybody, thanks for watching and thanks for all the good comments recently. So this is going to just be a very quick recap, and then we're going to go and look at how to get the recipes from the site. And the great thing is Scrapy will actually get around the need to log in. So yeah, stick with it. There may be some slow bits, there may be some mistakes, but hopefully you can see how I go about things and either learn or laugh at how I get on. Thanks for watching. Paste, yeah. Right, so for those of you who weren't paying attention or who missed part one, we're scraping this site, and as you scroll, more pages load, and they're loading 4 at a time, as you can see from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, get next page, 1, 2, 3, 4, next, so 12, 16, 20, and so on. So let's go back and see what we need to do next. So we've written the parse method, which gets all of the parent level links, so all of the links for each of the recipes. I think my subscriber actually asked if I could scrape the categories, so let's do that. So from the home page, I just click categories, and let's just look at breakfast because it's the first one, and let's just see if this is also infinite scroll. Okay, so it's not. So my infinite scroll thing was actually it wasn't entirely necessary for what I was asked to do by Mrs. Funny, my subscriber, but what should we do? I think I've handled the infinite scroll now, so you've seen how that was done, and I think that was pretty interesting to do. So right, let's go to do the categories then. So from the home page, we go to this button here, categories, and then I'm just going to do breakfast because it's the first one. So I think let's just break up that URL. So I'm going to delete that and delete the question mark. Let's just hit good. Okay, so that's our start URL. So let's open up Notepad and start gathering some information. So I'll try and make this font a bit bigger for you to see better this time. So we'll call this category, and the next thing obviously is we need to look at what parameters we are going to pass to it. I don't think we really need to pass any parameters other than, oh wow, 13989. That's too many. We don't for the sake of this video, and because I don't really need the information, this is more of a kind of a tutorial, let's break it down a bit. So let's go for porridge and see how many. 2492, that's still quite a lot, isn't it? Scrambled eggs, okay, 786, that's better. So scrambled eggs %20, scrambled %20 eggs, because there's a space, question mark, event equals search leads. Okay, well, let's see what happens when we click on page 2, and it adds page 2 on the end. So this is looking quite promising. So let's just back to my Notepad file, and let's just change that because let's go next. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. What we want to do is Here we go. So let's stick with Chrome and let's get going. All right, we want to identify something which contains all of, here we go, I think that we've got it. The LI line out, let's see. No, so we don't want that because that gets all of the results. We don't want all of the results. All we want to do is uniquely identify one of the cards and then we'll iterate through that. So just make sure that none of this is specific to the actual unique result. So in fact, we don't really care. I'm not bothered about extracting the image. So if we say that there already we're starting to kind of drill down into some of the unique bits that the card contains. So let's start here and let's cut that. So div class equals flex grow overflow hidden. So let's get that. We're going to do something similar. So let's do listings equals response dot xpath, and then we'll just do asterisk there. And what I'm going to do is just say at class and then equals, and then use the opposite type of quotes to what you used on the outside. So if you use single quotes on the outside, then your class and the inside of these for your predicate. So if you use an XPath, the square brackets are called the predicate, and inside there, let's paste in that class name. Let's just test this in Scrapy. Test it in Scrapy. We're using Scrapy. Test it in Scrapy shell. So let's okay. I need to do a fetch first, don't I? Scrapy shell. Let's make the font bigger as well while I'm at it. Zoom in. And let me just do clear. Scrapy shell. And okay, let's start with page 2. Closing quote in there. So before we test our XPath, we actually need to go and get the response. So we'll do fetch. Permission denied. That's a Scrapy error. It's not a response error. Okay, let's investigate that then. Let's go do the same. Exit. Let's just Chrome was actually running off my Windows machine, so let's just check we've got connection. Okay. I don't think this is the problem, but oh, it's using the cache. I think I need to go into settings and that's worked. So sudo. Any Linux experts on there probably cringe at my confused use of sudo and not using sudo, but I think as a rule you really need to not use sudo, but if you ever get permission denied errors, then maybe yeah, use sudo. So we've gone to page 2, which is the scrambled eggs page, and now we want to do, actually let's just go to our code and what we'd already written. We just want to test, so we've already written it, but we just want to test it anyway. Just there we go. And that looks good because we've got some sensible output. So that's actually the object. If I did get, I could even do text, couldn't I? /text, open close quotes, then .get, open close quotes. And then we've just got the last result, which was a /n. If we do get all, wow, we've got a lot of. Okay, so why is it doing that? We've got more text than that in each of the, because the actual recipe's in there, surely. I think it's because we need to do something like descendant, because this is what we want. Okay, so let's go down to the next level, shall we? And I'm going to refresh this because sometimes I cut and paste from I cut and paste from here because I find it. For instance, let me show you. If I cut and paste from here, right-click cut. It's just a good second way of showing that you've actually cut all of the text. Right, I'm going to try something else here. So let's do, instead of all of that, let's just do, we'll do flex, just flex, and it's got nothing. So I think this is where we need to use get descendant, and I've got a bit of, let me just have a look because I used this on another program. So I'm just going to do this off screen, and I don't know, I might even put up like a comedy image of a monkey eating some peanuts or something while I just check this. What I'm thinking is use descendant. If you use descendant, it gets not only everything at that level, but then it goes down all the levels, the tree, that goes down the DOM tree or whatever it's called. So, right, let's yeah, there we go. So it's descendant : asterisk. I'm just going to try that. And let me just compare with my other one that I've done. No, so it's not looking very, I've got 2 forward slashes, so let's just try that. No, okay. So back to my earlier plan, which was to use this. Huh. Well, that's actually, so why is it not coming up as text? Oh, I see. So if you look here, we've got eggs, quarter of a red onion, handful of spinach, butter, garlic, and so on. It's not a text object. It's actually class data dash highlightable dash words equals. Okay, so slight change of plan here actually. I've realised what we actually need to do is get, we actually need to treat these as the parent. So what I'm going to do is just get the hrefs from these, because then we actually want to go to basically the child page and get, I don't know, what should we get? Should we just get, let's get all of it. We'll get description, the ingredients, and then the steps. If that's not too class data the attribute. Okay, right, so let's go back a page, and yeah, okay, so we've already worked out we're going to handle this by looking to see until there's no next page. So let's find, so this is the link. So if we inspect the, what we'll call the link, and expand that, there we go, there's the href. So we want, let's just copy link address and just visit it. Yeah, that's fine, that's what we want. So let's see how many results we get if we search for class media and Scrapy shell. I've got a feeling it's going to be a lot, so I think we may have to be a bit more specific than that, but save retyping this each time. You just backspace and then just modify it what you've already got. So need two slashes there. That's more like it. Do you notice the difference between here, 1 slash and 2 slashes? I don't know enough about the DOM to start talking about that knowledgeably, so good. So that looks like all of the, what is that recipe? Scrambled eggs 5976. So that should be the first scrambled eggs recipe. Is that 5976? Oh, it's not, because we're on the last page. Okay, that doesn't matter. What did I do there? Did I do get? Yeah, so instead of get, if I do get all, there we go, lots and lots. So I think that will be our selector. So what we've got here, this will list all of the scrambled eggs recipes, and we don't use get all yet. We use get once we drop down to the individual cards. This is just identifying the level in the DOM that contains all of the cards. So all of the cards, aka recipes, or links to detailed recipes. There we go. And what we want here is for card in listings, then we'll say Well, it's pretty much what we've had below here if you look. So if actually we can copy that and modify it, so we do that, and instead of all of that, what we'll put in is we'll put something else which we've yet to identify. If we test that, we'll see what we get. I hope this is making sense so far. Okay, there we go. I think that's still too small, isn't it? Let's make it a little bit bigger. I hope that's good. So what we've got here is, because we're using get and I'm using the period character, we're identifying, rather than the whole container of all of the cards, we're now picking out each card with it. We'll be using the for loop to pick out each one. So this is good. We've identified here the link to the detailed recipe, which is what we will visit to extract all of the ingredients, recipe, steps. Is it called steps? Yeah, ingredients, steps, and so on. Good. So we've got down to here. Let's just do what we did before and print link. Yeah, sorry about that. And I think it's time to actually run it, so save that and let's run cookpad.spider.py. And I'm getting in a right muddle with all these windows. I'm going to lose my temper and close one in a minute. Let's do cd, go back to the previous directory. I think if I remember correctly, this failed before. I had the official Scrapy way. Yeah, so that's quite odd. So when I run it with the crawler process, I get error 403. If you notice what I get here, sorry. Here, if I actually do it the Scrapy crawl and then the spider name, it works. Let me just check I've got the right spider name. I hope this is helping if I zoom this in. Scrapy crawl cookpads. Oh, wrong name. Right, cookpad. None. Okay. So it got 4 of something. Why did it not get scrambled eggs? Let's copy that again. I bet I know why. Yeah. No. Just going to paste that in, see. Oh. Card. Anybody spotted the problem? Line 11. It's because I've changed, because of what we were doing in video 1, and now we've decided, or I've decided, to actually get the breakfast recipes from categories. What I need to do is change. What do I need to change? I need to change my I think I need to change my my start URL to scrambled eggs. Everybody, does that sound about right? Yeah, so let's copy that, and instead of just the top level, let's go down to scrambled eggs. I don't know if I need to do URL encode on that. Let's test it anyway. We'll soon find out. Scrapy crawl cookpad. And what is going on here? Oh, we've got permission denied again, right. I think it's because when I started the project I used sudo. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so crawled a 200 and right, let's fetch that. So if we do come on, have I got a recent fetch? No. Fetch. And inside there, just do the old scrambled eggs, get that page. Right, now we've got that. Let's just go back and do the previous response. And let's do, okay, so that's right. Why is it giving us none? Let's in fact, I think I'm still running from the. Am I still running from the cache? Let's have a look and just check that I've, because that would throw a spanner in the works. Whilst we're, yeah, HTTP cache enabled equals true. So turn that off when you're, if you're starting to look at new pages. Then obviously you've got to go to the site and get some new content. So right, sudo scrapy crawl, and we've actually now going to the live site and see if we can get rid of the none. No, it's still not working. So what's going on? We've got the scrambled eggs page. From the scrambled eggs page, we should be able to get something like cheesy white sauce. Using this, so I hope my copy and paste is going to behave now. Let's just, yeah. So we get a response object from the start URL, which is what you've seen here. We've got 200 response when we go off and get this page. And then we're getting all these nones. For card in listings, link equals card.xpath. I'm going to pause this here and I'm going to have a think. I'm going to go away and have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to come back and work out what I'm missing, something obvious. So, but yeah, just before I go, just remember enable HTTP cache again if you're if you're moving down a level and you're getting a different part of the site, because it won't be in your cache, and then because you've told Scrapy to use the cache, it will only look in the cache. So, right, back in a sec. Right, okay, so some time later, what we've got, I found some selectors, or created some selectors, but the problem I was getting was, let me show you. So, this Facebook thing is a bit of a red herring really, but what I was getting was, if you see here, we're doing spect, there's like an href over this, but also there's one over there, and yeah, there's one over here as well. So I think if you go there, look, you can see the link there, and what I was getting was, I was getting the link twice. So yeah, you see it once here, and you see here, I was getting it 40 times, and I was only really wanting it 20. So I'll show you what happened. With my earlier selectors, I was getting every href twice. And without going into some horrible XPath or using set to find every unique href, I thought what I would do instead would be, so what I've got commented out here was what was finding 40 results. So if we just go across to Scrapy shell, I'll show you what I've ended up doing, which is I've just uniquely identified the link and the @ID, and when I get that, I actually get 20 results. And let's just I'll show you that in Chrome. So if we just do Control F and paste that in there. There, you see, we've got 20. So to uniquely pick out the recipe, I thought, well, if I can just get that recipe ID, perhaps it will just take me to the page anyway. And that is actually what happens. So you can see what's happened here. So earlier on, what I did was response.xpath li, and I was picking out the ID and the text, which was not any use. But then I did @ID to pick out the ID, and .get. So recipe 11, blah blah blah, doesn't matter what number it is. So what I did then was I just took that recipe ID and I put it on the end of recipes /, and as you can see, it did a redirect, and cookpad.com /UK recipes, and I didn't need the scrambled eggs - cheesy white sauce. So let me just demonstrate that again. Fetch. So the first thing I did was, yeah, so the first thing I needed to do was to fetch scrambled eggs page, or the breakfast page rather. We're looking at scrambled eggs because the breakfast page was too big, if you remember. So, not that, come on. Let's just type it from scratch, otherwise it just gets messy. Right, and that's the original link, our start URL. Oh, that's cached, doesn't matter anyway. So then what I did was just put the ID, which I can copy and paste from here. Put the ID on the end of, sorry, copy, paste. Okay, yeah, I've missed out the recipes. And there you see again, it's just done a repeat of what I showed you 2 minutes ago, but what it's doing is it's resolving or it's redirecting. Once it knows the ID, which is that, then it knows the text bit that goes after it. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the best way to get 20 rather than the 40. We don't want to end up getting 40 and then you're having to use set and convert it back from a set back to a list and all that nonsense. So yeah, what I'm going to do is response. I've got it in Notepad here. Copy. So if we put all that, get rid of that now. Come on, do the sort of tabs that way. Right. So that's going to get me 40 recipe IDs. And just for the purposes of this, just to demonstrate, we'll just run that and I'll show you. So yeah, just to recap, I was getting everything twice. 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these. So if we run it again, we'll just see that hopefully we should just get 20. Recipes is not defined. Okay. Okay. Recipes equals response.xpath. This one again. Ah, come on. Here we go, run it again. We should. Oh. Okay, yeah. Excuse me. Let's do get all. That should make us a list, and then I'm rushing because it's late and I need to finish this for today. But there we go. Well, hey, 20. And there we go. So we can just append those to our URL. And that is fantastic because we've got 20 recipe IDs there. And we don't have to worry about uniquely picking out the href, which was part of a class, which occurred twice. I hope I've explained that properly. So the href occurs twice within the div or whatever element it was. So doing it this way, we've just got the recipe IDs, which I think is just as good because we can just append that to our URL and then we've got 20 and we don't have to mess around with set and so on. So right, that's it for now, and then I'll be back later and we will finish this. Okay, so we're on this page. So correction, we're not on this page. We're actually on categories, breakfast, scrambled eggs. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to find all of the hrefs, which I've just been talking about, and the best way to do that is to do this. So I found that we can find by class, and then we find all of the hrefs for the media class. Now that gets us all of this, and what I want to show you is I've copied this list. I've copied it into yes, just Sublime Text for some testing. And I pasted that whole list. So what you see here, all of this list here in red, okay, is now in here. And excuse the long scroll bar, but it goes all the way across there. And so we've got 40 items in there. And as you can see, I've already tested it. So printed the length before I did anything. Then I use set, and that finds the unique links. And then afterwards, I convert the set back to a list and print the length of that list, which is now 20. Good. Okay, so what I need to do is transplant that code into my spider. So we need to say this was where I was testing, so that can go. So links equals response.xpath at class mediator of get all. That will get me, gets 40. Then we do link set links equals list.links, and then we will down to 20. And then we can say for recipe in, I need to tidy this up a bit. What I was doing earlier was using the recipe ID, so that is no more. And instead we need to say for recipe, let's just say for recipe in links, URL equals recipe URL, so it's that, plus, yeah, just recipe, isn't it? So I think that's possibly ready to test, and this could go spectacularly wrong, or it could go, let's see, exit sudo scrapy core Parse. What we don't want is an error 400, and we don't have an error 400, so I think it's working. And this is actually fantastic because we will be getting 20, or actually, yeah, we're getting the 20 pages, so really the only thing left to do is do the yield to Parse details and get the information that we want with the selectors and save it to this CSV. But really this was the difficult part, and I thought I could use the IDs, but it's easier just to use set for the sake of for the sake of using set and then converting back to a list. I think that is fine. So still 200. It's looking good, isn't it? And I'm going to stop that now because I don't want to push my luck. Then what we were doing there is we were yielding to the URL, so we were actually going to that, we were visiting that page, and then we were just going down to Parse details, and Parse details was doing a pass. So if you want to, let's bite the bullet and carry on and complete this now, shall we? So let's go to the scrambled eggs page. So now we're down at the, what we're calling the child level, and okay, let's what is this? How can we get, let's get this. I think we can just, it's safe enough just to get this via the probably via the font size. H1, is that the only H1 on the page? I think it is. Yeah, let's do that. So, and what's this? What is this? A class? Yeah, so that's a paragraph MB-2, and that's probably an H2. And what is all this? This is these are big paragraphs as well, aren't they? Okay, that's one div, and then we've got butter. Oh, so we've got various list items. Yeah, right. Let's start building a list of items, or a dictionary rather, and so what we want to do is we want to set up our custom settings and set up feeds. So just Rather than me messing around typing, I'm just going to copy and paste this in. Custom settings, feeds, and then we will call it cookpad.csv, and the format is CSV. Good, right, now so let's start making a dictionary, shall we? So I'm just going to copy and paste some code from a previous spider because it will be quicker, I hope anyway. Scrambled eggs and rocket wrap. So keep an eye on this because it looks like oh, debugs, crawled, scraped, crawled, scraped, crawled, scraped. Right, let's stop that. I just want to see whether we're not doing everything twice. And according to that, we're not even doing anything once. Okay. Let's just see. I've had my database head on for yeah, for a month or so, so I've got a bit rusty with creating the CSVs. So I hope this has been useful. When I was testing, I kept on coming across that Gmail cookpad login nag screen, and I was dreading that there was going to be an immense amount of form data to try and unpick to actually get through, but Scrapy seems to circumnavigate all that quite nicely. So we're doing 9 items per minute, so it's going to take 2 minutes to do this first page. I'm a firm believer in do things. Start your spiders as slowly as you can kind of tolerate. You can always go faster, but once you're blocked, you can't then have second thoughts and decide to go slower. So, well, that's my thoughts anyway. So, there we go. I hope you can read what's on the screen. I've tried to make the font bigger. The trouble is, if I make it too big, it'll start wrapping and it'll just be nonsensical. If you're watching this on a mobile phone, then I'm sorry, but it's probably better to watch this on a desktop PC or a laptop, because there is a lot of information to see when Scrapy's running, and you're handicapping yourself a little bit if you try and watch a Scrapy tutorial on there we go, so title. Good, so that looks, oh yeah, so we've got 3 lines for each thing, so that's why it's gone down to 60. So it looks, I know some of them have got the same name, but I think they actually have on the website. Fine, so what are we going to do? We're going to get some more info off the page, really. That's the whole point of making the scraper, isn't it? So bear with. I just had an email from Cookpad. I thought they were after me, but it's where I clicked on the sign in with Google, your Google account, all that nonsense when I was testing. So apologies if nobody likes scrambled eggs, but the whole reason I'm doing scrambled eggs is because it was from the first thing on the list, which was it was breakfast, wasn't it? So yeah, let me drag this back across. So we've got an H2 there. Is that the only H2 on the page? Actually, that's an H2 as well, isn't it? So I probably need to stop being lazy, and I probably actually do need to use the class names. Although we're not actually extracting those, we're extracting this text. So let's see what this is. Inspect element. That is quite small, isn't it? I'm sorry, let's make it bigger. So unstyled list. Anybody think this would be easier just to use the CSS selector? Yeah. Let's see what, oh, look, there we go, we've got it again. So, it seems like Chrome, oh, maybe I logged in using Firefox. Let's just drag that down a bit. Is all of this, is this all inside one div? No, so let's go up until we can get all of it. Okay, ingredient list. Let's try that. I'm just going to stick this in my text file. So that was the class. That was div class equals. Okay, so the ingredients equal response dot x path I can say div there, can't I? At class equals, and it was ingredient list, yeah. Not capitals, what the keyboard? It's obviously keyboard's fault, and wouldn't be mine, would it? Okay. Dot get. And then let's just add that onto here. And we'll say ingredient. I thought that was going to be a typo. Autocomplete is quite handy, isn't it? Right. Let's I probably should actually check that in Scrapy shell, shouldn't I? There's no point keep hammering the website when you can just do it this way. So what have I got in it? Right, I think no, I need to do a fetch, don't I? I need to do a fetch on the actual, what I always call the details page. So let's do a fetch on that. Good. Okay, that looks good. So then we do text, open close parentheses, and we've just got a new line character. Oh, that's because I did get. I need to do get all. The actual. Oh, because it's not text, is that I need to be getting the. 'Try that. I don't think this is going to work. I've not come across. I think I'm. Nah. Let's just inspect. I think that's where I was though, right at the start. Let's go back to that. Why wasn't our ingredient list? It was getting a big object, wasn't it? But it wasn't picking anything out. Let's try this. Do a second predicate. Yeah, so yeah, sorry for the delay on that. We now have a selector for this. So what I did was I right clicked and then I did copy XPath. Then I paste. Is that what I did? Yeah. I don't believe it was. Anyway, I found it. It was the ID was, yeah, the ID was ingredient. So what I did was ID contains ID equals ingredient /div/bdi. So let's just test that in Scrapy shell before we finally. So that found 5 items, which for this recipe is perfect. Go away. We want Scrapy shell. Looks like. So let's just turn that into a selector response XPath. You're probably as tired as I am of seeing response typed incorrectly, but no. So what do we do here then? Is that just BDI? No. Invalid number of arguments in. Oh, I keep doing this. I keep using equals instead of, sorry, isn't it div and then BDI? What happens if you put text after this? Yeah, that's done it. Okay. Wow. What is that ingredient? Who knows? I think we need to make some sense of that before we just... ingredient... actually, let's do get all. 2 and 1 pinch. 2. Oh. Ingredient list. Let's drag this back over. I think ingredient list. Let's just change that. I think it will break it, but I just want curiosity. We don't want the BDI all the time. We want to get LDI class, sorry, LI class as well. Okay. So let's try this then. So div/li? No. Let's go down to here. Oh, it still is BDI class for the sort, so ID, oh, it's not ID, is it? It's item prop. Item prop. See, it's lit up in green. Right, copy that into Notepad. and then we need to test it in Scrapy's shell. So I know what I'm going to do. No. Let's copy that. And instead we can paste that over the top of that. Oh, it's wrapping it, sorry. Right. That needs a pair of brackets on the end, otherwise we're not going to get the text. Ah, this is hard work, isn't it? And who can see what I've missed here? Let's just backspace on that bit. Right, that's looking better. We can work with that. I think for the sake of this web scraping, I can denormalize space on. Can I denormalize space? Yeah, I think so. Right, let's just do. It would appear that they've tried their best to stop this being scraped. Let's hash that one out. I think this is pretty much ingredients equals ingredients 2. I think this is pretty much kind of showed you all how to go about it, and delete that. I mean, the main feature of this really is just proving that you can use Scrapy to get past that annoying Google whatever it's called, login, create a user account, blah blah blah. You can just bypass that. I'm just going to let this run, and then we'll look at the CSV, and then we'll just tidy up the text. And I'm not going to bore you with how to join the quantities back up with the ingredients. For a start, I don't actually know how I would go about that, and I think it would take a lot of time, and it's not really, you're not really going to learn very much. I think it's just you'd have to let's just, while that's running, let's just think of how we would do that, because we get 2 eggs, 1 pinch of salt. Because we were getting the numbers separately, weren't we, in the text file? So, yeah, 2 and 1 pinch. And how do we know that the 2 goes with the eggs? Because we're just going to have a list. We could have 5 ingredients, and we could have 2 of these. A bit of a problem. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know how you would solve that. unless if you read this through the steps, beat egg or singular. I don't know is the short answer, but I'm sure if there's anybody out there who knows how to do that or who's actually done it, then that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't want to spend forever on this. And as I say, I'm not. Yeah, you see what we've got? We've just got eggs, salt, butter. It doesn't. It should be 1 pinch of salt and 2 eggs. So quite how we join the quantities, I don't know. Well, I think that's for any. I'm not actually doing this because I need to. I'm doing it because a subscriber asked me to. So I think I've broken the back of this, and yeah, I've normalized space. You can probably tell I'm getting fidgety. I've spent quite a while on this, and I think I've pretty much proved that it can be scraped successfully. And yeah, let's go back and look at my code. So all we would need to do next, let's just do hide the overview map. So uncomment this, and then you can go off and get loads of pages. That's line 32 to line 36 is the code which would yeah, keep looping through all of the pages beyond the first page, beyond the first parent page of 20 recipes. So you'll go 20, then this will get recipes 21 to 40, and then 41 to 60, and so on. These selectors, yeah, you're welcome to experiment with those. Selectors are not my strong point. I don't really have a background with CSS or XPath. I kind of still learning those. I'm not fluent, and I do try to use XPath where possible because I think there's more power with XPath. I mean, you've got the contains, starts with, ends with, the normalized space. It's more powerful, and I would encourage anybody who's learning web scraping to try and embrace XPath rather than shy away from it. It's good to know both, really. So, it took slightly longer than I thought, but yeah, the other thing was, I'm not going to go back and look into it, but crawler process did not work, or it was, I think it was giving me a 400 error, was it? Let's, out of interest, let's just try and run the spider from, not from that, let's just instead, let's do sudo scrapy, no, not scrapy, sudo python 3 cookpad, what's that actually called? Cookpad underscore spider. .py. Yeah, I got 403. Oh, no referrer. Okay, so if you run it the official Scrapy way, it looks at settings and gets a referrer from there, but if you run crawler process, then it looks like it doesn't. Let's run it as sudo scrapy crawl, and at the moment you can see here, referrer, none. It's kind of wrapped across 2 lines. Let's run it now, and let's just see what, yeah, it's put in the referrer, so it would appear that using crawler process you need to specify your custom settings actually within the spider.py file. And then you can see all the ingredients but without the quantities, so yeah, I'm not decking the issue, honest. I probably could work it out, but in fact I don't know, how do you, if everything had a quantity, and that would be fine, but if only 2 out of your 5 items have got a quantity, how do you match your list of 2 numbers or 2 integers against your list of 5 items? You might be able to do you like this? Oh look, there's an avocado in the wow. Scrapy has just shown me an avocado. How about that? I think that's quite a good that's quite a good encore. I hope this has been good. It's taken slightly longer than expected, and if you want me to post the code on GitHub I will, but otherwise I won't, because this was more watching me this was more watching me do a live web scrape or a live Scrapy project rather than actually publishing the code for anybody, because yeah, this was more for your entertainment to see how somebody scrapes. Until next time, thank you for watching, thumbs up and keep up the comments, and it's really good, so thank you.